Going on with the family out there? Your boy's gonna go live here. These black Hebrew Israelites. Make sure y'all can hear me. What's going on with y'all? Alright, get this phone a little charge up. I don't know what camp this is, but we finna step over there and holler at these brothers and see what they on. They in the hood, so we got time. Yeah. We in the hood, y'all, so we finna see what these brothers on. Alright, cool. We finna walk up on these brothers, man. We definitely in the hood, y'all. We in on Natural Bridge, St. Louis. Natural Bridge to Kings Highway, we out here.
Because he's going to take them down. What he wants us to do is be obedient. And when it's time, because they're not forcing us to sin. We're making a choice to sin. And everything that we do, and every time we do it, we raise our hand and we elect it because the Father is righteous enough to put it in our mind what we're supposed to do. Right.
I got one already.
And it does wear us down. But you know what we do when we get worn down, right? We pray, and you know what else we do? We pick up the phone and call a brother. And we allow the words of that brother to uplift our spirit back up. And the last one, it was Philippians 4:7. And this was the answer to that question. So in the prayer, iron sharpening iron, but what is that iron? So Philippians 4:7.
We understand we can be wicked, we can be righteous, but I rather say righteous because being wicked, you don't even do it. So your own word.
Philippians 4:7. Right. Check this out. So that iron sharpening the iron, this is what it is. Go ahead.
In the book of Philippians, chapter 4 and verse 7, and the peace of God, which passed. The book of Philippians, chapter 4 and verse 6. Be careful for nothing.
That's what you were saying. Go ahead.
But in everything by prayer.
By prayer, we do pray. Go ahead.
And supplication.
And the supplication. Let God know what's weighing us down. What's on our mind? Go ahead.
With thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God.
Go ahead. And this is along with that, from what you gonna get from the brother. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And the peace of God.
The peace of God is the words. Of that friend, of that iron,
which passeth all understanding.
It's going to pass our mind state, which is telling us, I can't handle it. Because it passes all understanding. What is included in that all understanding? Our understanding. Go ahead.
Shall keep your heart.
God says it's going to keep our minds. Go ahead.
And minds through Christ.
So we can handle it when we put up the prayers.
I got 3 jobs, I still ain't got
we allow each other to restore one another and uplift one another's spirit. Right. It takes time. Yeah. Right. So we just make sure that we prepare with our spot without blemish when that time comes, that we may be accepted. So we're going to close it with Matthew 26. So whenever the Bible is preached and the gospel is coming out, Christ, man, he commanded all his believers. Because the believers of Christ don't do what Christ tells them to do. He commanded all his believers to read this story. about this sister, and we briefly read it. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 6. Now when Christ was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper,
this is the story.
There came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, To what purpose is this waste?
They thought it was a waste.
For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor.
And when you read John 11, it was only Judas that had the problem about the ointment being sold for much because he had the bag of money. He was coveted. Go ahead.
When Christ understood it, he said unto them, Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath brought a good work upon me.
She gave me some comfort. Go ahead.
For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial.
She comforted him with the oil before dying. Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you,
so truly I say unto you,
whatsoever this gospel shall be preached,
this is a commandment, whatsoever this gospel shall be preached
in the whole world,
no matter where it is, from here or in New Zealand. Go ahead.
There shall also this.
There shall this. This is a commandment. Go ahead.
That this woman have done be told for a memorial of her.
So Christ said, mention this woman as a memorial for her, because the memorial she set is having a broken and contrite heart. And she was sorry for her sin. And being sorry for her sin, she followed the Christ the rest of the days of her life. So Christ said, because of that, this is the example that we all need to follow. How we so sorry for sin, we can't do nothing but cry. Because that type of spirit, it ain't going back. It ain't never doing it again. It's different from, I'm sorry, because you just trying to get over it. And you broke so bad to where you can't even pull yourself together. To where somebody had to tell you, it'll be all right, you just got to live like this. So Christ said, make mention of this sister, because this is the example that she set for us. And with that, we say shalom. So,
what camp? What y'all camp? What camp y'all with?
We the General Assembly.
Okay.
Of Israel. You read Hebrews 12.
Oh, okay,
where
cool.
It says to the General Assemblies and the firstborn. So we, as we all Israel repent, we become part of the General Assembly. Regardless of what name we go by, the different camps, congregations, we is one camp, the camp of the Father, and the elder and the bishop is Christ.
Cool. I'm G Consciousness, man. What's going on with you brothers, man? I see y'all brothers in the hood, man. I'm glad y'all out here, you know what I'm saying?
That's the only way.
You know, y'all heard of IUIC and all of them? Y'all not One West though, is y'all? You guys not One West, is y'all? Okay, see, I don't know what One West is. It's just mainly ISUPK and all of them, IUIC and, okay, cool. So y'all not even affiliated with them.
I mean, we all believe in the Bible, but...
Right.
Right.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I got that in the car. He passed it to me. He passed it. Y'all be out here every Saturday?
We be at different spots.
Okay, cool.
It just depends on what spirit leads.
Yeah, because I seen y'all, I think I added you on Facebook. I added you on Facebook. I think one of y'all, I think it was that brother right there. I think him, yeah, on Facebook. Yeah, we,
so y'all don't have no tickets.
you know, I'm a Christian apologist. I don't know if you guys know, heard of that, you know what I'm saying? But basically, you know, we've been kind of going against a lot of these One West camps out here, been teaching, you know what I'm saying, still acting like they believers, but they still in these streets, you know what I'm saying? And so what we've been doing is we've been kind of looking at all these camps out here, trying to see what they teaching the people out here, you know what I'm saying? Basically doing that. That's what's up, Yeah, and one of the things, what they do is they go in downtown or something like that, and they scream at white people all day long.
That's not the spirit.
Yeah, right. And so, you know, y'all in the hood, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we was telling them, you know, if you say the people need help in the hood, you need to be in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, we see y'all out here, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Yeah, I was just checking y'all out, man. You said what y'all call again? General Assembly of Israel.
Right here, bro.
Okay.
Hebrews 12 and 23. To the General Assembly of Israel, or to the General Assembly of Church of the Firstborn. which are written in heaven, to the God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect.
Cool. Y'all deal with that chart though? With the chart?
It's right there.
I mean, we believe the Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Oh, okay. Do y'all think that can be updated though? Like, can that be updated or can that be, you know what I'm saying? Cause
can it be updated?
That's set in stone.
You can't.
Matter of fact,
once this was set, ain't no change.
Right, because you know we got a camp out of ITR out of Chicago. They came up out of GMS. Y'all heard of GMS before?
Yeah.
They came up out of GMS, and so they don't use the chart anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because they realized there was some discrepancies there. You know what I'm saying, with this chart right here. ISUPK used the chart. You know what I'm saying?
What discrepancies?
For instance, like Native Americans, right? When did they come over here?
They was over here first.
Right, so what scripture says that the Native Americans is Israelites, when did they come to America? And so that's what ITR, which is another Israelite camp, they kind of had to put the chart away because they realized that, you know what I'm saying, that Native Americans is really another people. You know what I'm saying? They're not really Israelites.
Let me help you out with that because
they want gun lines.
Because the Hispanic tribes did come over to this land called, who the nations call the Americas, but the Bible called it Arsaku. That's the true name of this land. And when you let's get second
Ezra 13 and 40, right?
So now you know that. Mm-hmm. So with knowing that, how do you see that they are another people? Because they were in truth.
Because the Bible would tell about another people other than those tribes.
Exactly. They came over.
Everything that happened in this earth is according to the scriptures. It's written in the scriptures. So then another question. All the ones that dispute everything that's going on, sometimes we might wonder like, okay, where'd you get your understanding from or why you understand this? Well, a lot of understanding be jarred for one reason. Let me show you this. Let's get Psalms. What's that? 111 and 10.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111.
So you believe in the Bible?
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely.
Okay,
I'm a Christian, so I definitely believe.
Christian?
Yeah.
So you know that we don't deal with Christianity,
right?
And that the Israelites.
All right, brother. Raise your hand, get permission to speak, because I don't want to distract y'all, disturb you, I'll be rude. I just want to know, I'm Lamar Brown. I just want to know that I have a wonderful assembly. I think I did a great job.
All praise, brother.
Thank you,
brother. You too, man. All praises, brother. All right, man. Bless, man. Hope to see you again. Run to you again, brother. All right.
God bless.
All right, brother.
All right.
At that point, it is sure.
All right, so
and it ain't no.
So I was saying that a lot of brothers be trying to interpret, understand the scripture. So the other thing concerning Christianity, right? So being called a Christian, that was only put upon us, by the Greeks as a derogatory term. Because growing up in Antioch, the Israelites that was growing up in Antioch, first you got to get Maccabees because you want to go into it. You want to get Maccabees because they were called first Christians by the Antiochians that came up under Antioch. Right, I said
right. You do realize these are two different time periods, right?
Two different time periods.
So in other words, you saying Antiochus is around the 3rd century BC, around 2nd century BC.
I'm saying when it began.
Right.
The people, you know what I'm saying? So
you got
so there was a habit. Let me explain my point.
Go ahead. So I'm sorry. Go.
There was a habit of calling people by the names of heathens. You understand?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay.
In other words, he calling me, but when you say Christian, see, you can be an Israelite. What a Christian is just a follower of Christ or a little anointed one, because they would have looked at those that was doing anointings and healing people as little anointed ones.
Oh, I understand.
It means to be smeared on or rubbed on.
I understand, you know what I'm saying? The intention of it.
Right.
But its initial intent, it didn't mean nothing well. When you read Acts and they were first called Christians at Antioch,
right,
they didn't mean nothing well because remember they killed the man.
Well, they was calling him a follower of Christ then.
Yeah. At the same time, it goes with every other proverb. Because we wasn't ever Christians. We were Israelites. We had tribal names. So it's just best to call us by our tribal names.
Right.
We just pull back and get to the source.
Right. Because somebody don't know what their tribal name is, and then also, what about when Peter said those that suffered that are Christians, to suffer to be a Christian in the book of, well, when he said that in Peter.
Right.
Peter says, so if Peter's saying that if you suffer being a Christian, then that means that he's using that term and he's the apostle. So how do we go from not using the term that he's looking at himself as a Christian, which is a follower of Christ? So therefore, when we look at Acts, it would have had to been that they was called Christians, but they accepted, as being a Christian, a follower of Christ, because Peter himself said, if you suffer as a Christian, why would he say that?
That's what the scriptures do say. Okay, so now, what you got?
2 Maccabees 4, and the point is in 9, but you might want to start at 1.
Right, go ahead.
Okay.
The book of I don't want to read forever.
Right, so you got to jump in where Ananias.
By the name of Jerusalem by...
Well, 9, verse 9.
The book of 2 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 9.
So before he reads this, a quick dialogue. An evil man named Ananias, okay? He, in the times when the Greeks was in rulership and they was trying to come up against our people that was from Jerusalem, you had traitors, wicked Israelites that would go to the Greeks and get and try to get permission to do things, you know what I'm saying, in our land that was sinful and devilish. So he did that, and also try to be proclaimed a high priest so he can deceive the people into being what? Westernized, or dealing with the customs of the nation. Okay, so now I just want to give you a dialogue before we dive in. But the point is in 9, and it's something that he did. Read that.
The book of 2 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 9. Beside this, he promised to assign 150 more, if he might have license to set up a place for exercise and for the training up of youth and the fashions of the heathen.
See that? So whenever you read something like this, just know it's nothing but sin involved. Right. And this man tried to get all the children, just like what's going on today. You know what I'm saying? Football camps, basketball camps, all these different things is promoted by the other nations, and that's something that he was doing then. It was sinful then, and it's still sinful now. All right, but now he said that he gathered in 100 more children. All right, keep going.
And to write them of Jerusalem by the name of Antiochus.
You hear that?
Right.
By the name of Antiochus. So this term started with the Greeks and what? The king Antiochus, right? So now, in that time, when he said call him by the name of Antiochus, meaning that it started back then. So when you fast forward to Acts, the same place where this was where that was, in Antioch. See, in Antioch was where those who call themselves Antiochus dwelt.
Well, actually, Antiochus is a Greek king, though. In other words, he named
Antioch. He named the city Antioch after himself.
Exactly.
Right. So okay. So when we look at this, is a different time period. So even though we have Antioch, we still have a 2nd to 3rd century king, and then it goes all the way up to when you get to the 1st century. And
how many centuries has this land been called America? After a Roman general.
What you mean, in 70 AD, or what you talking about?
No, this land here, how long has it been called the Americas?
I'm not even sure.
A very long time, right?
Right.
So I guess the point is, like, even back then, just because it happened in, let's say, for instance, you say that you did the math, you said the 2nd century, right? But then, during the time of the apostles, that they were at Antioch calling the disciples Christians, You understand? And the same place that they were used to renaming our people. So why would we let some people that's used to renaming us name us?
Well, actually, this is like we all in this city right now, right? So we don't necessarily know who called them Christians. All we know that this is North St. Louis. So we all sitting in North St. Louis.
But we do know because it says it.
It says they was first called Christians in what?
At Antioch.
Right, so listen, if we in North St. Louis, right? If you walking down the street, right, I can call you something in North St. Louis and say, well, this is you, right? But at the same time, you're saying that Antiochians or whatever you want to say, they the first people who started calling them that? Because if in other words,
it says it.
You consider me as an Israelite, right?
You're an Israelite.
Okay, so listen, I can call you. I can say, okay, I can say you are Melchizedekian or something like that. I can say something like that, right? Let's use that for analogy. Now I can say that, but in reality, that's not what you call yourself. But you consider me an Israelite. So even though it says they was in Antioch, right? It never specifically says who called them a Christian. It just said they was first called Christians. Read it. What does it say?
It says, it came to pass that a whole year went by, they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
Right. So in other words, we're in North St. Louis. So I can come to you and call you a Christian, but I'm an Israelite calling you a Christian, like that brother who just came down the street. He's not walking with you guys, but you guys are.
But it's telling you in Antioch.
Right, so listen.
Yeah, so we all in North St. Louis right now.
No, so lose St. Louis.
Right.
Okay.
Just right here in Antioch,
right?
The people were called Christians. In Antioch, the apostles were the first ones to be called that. In Antioch.
Who's they called that by though?
By the people in Antioch.
But who was living in Antioch at that time? Was it Israelites living in Antioch?
Yeah, of course.
So that's what I'm saying. If it's Israelites living in Antioch, it can be that, guess who called them a Christian?
So then let me ask you a question. What should they have called them?
Followers of Christ, because at that time, if you remember, when Paul stood up before that centurion, he said, art thou that Egyptian that led many away? And so during those times...
Was he an Egyptian?
No, he wasn't an Egyptian.
Exactly. So what he should have been called.
But reason why, but I'm making the point why he called him that, why he figured out that he was that, because during that time, if a person that was a leader, if they was a certain name, like you say his name is Mike, they might call him a Mark or something. They might call him a Markite or something like that. He had followers with him. And so when they seen Christians was following they were followers of Christ, they called them Christians.
All right, brother.
All right.
West side, bro, you hear me?
What's going on?
Okay. Real ass soldiers around here, bro.
So now
we keep it on gaze to gaze.
Let's get the precept that I was saying. Psalms 111 and 10.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Right. So when somebody get Ecclesiastes chapter 2:15, and let's define what the fear of the Lord is. So in order to be wise, we have to fear the Father.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 15. They that fear the Lord,
they that fear the Father, go ahead,
will not disobey his word.
Right, will not disobey his word. So now, a lot of brothers that come up against certain doctrines, the first thing that we find these brothers doing, they're breaking the commandments. So how do they have understanding while breaking the commandments? Now can somebody else get the wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter? And these are and sometimes these be things that's on the surface that you can observe and see. Whether it's on the Sabbath day, or whether it's the way they carry themselves, or whether it's a dress code, the same way that, like the scripture said, a man could be known by his countenance. Like you can look at a woman and see if she's in order or out of order, correct?
Right, somewhere.
Exactly. You can see that visually. Like the Messiah said, you're going to know people by their fruits, right? Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter, and I want to... Yeah. What is it? Yeah, go ahead, 4 and 5.
Okay, Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 4. For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
Go ahead.
Nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
Right, so if someone is subject unto sin, you know what the scriptures say? Right. Wisdom ain't gonna be in that person.
Right, definitely.
So why would we allow brothers that we can visually see? We don't even have to go very deep within the surface. We can just visually see certain things that basic instructions would tell this brother, hey, keep this commandment, keep that commandment. Because the scriptures say, let your light so shine among men that they may see good works. So why would that be the brother to come up and the Father would deliver to us a message pertaining to anything? That wouldn't
right. Well, even with the Pharisees, right, and the scribes, they had their broad phylacteries on, and Christ come up to them. He's looking like just, you know what I'm saying, me and you out here, you know what I'm saying? He's just a regular guy, you know what I'm saying? They got their religious broad phylacteries on. And so if they would have never thought that he was coming to them to deliver the message to them like that, but he came to deliver them that message because they was over religious, and they wasn't really following what the scripture was saying. They was following their traditions rather than the word of God.
That's true.
And so what I'm saying is this is in dealing with some things, like for instance this chart, like you brought out Esdras 13 and 40.
We didn't get it, but
right,
because you said you already was familiar
right.
with it, so that's why we told you what we're familiar with. The proof is in the precept.
Right, like Osserit, right? What you say Osserit is.
Exactly.
Now, what if I told you that when Christ came, Christ went to the lost sheep of Israel, the whole house of Israel, right? Okay, so he didn't come to America. You see what I'm saying?
So now, with that point that you're making, what are we talking about? Are we talking about when Christ, was born in Jerusalem and was raised up to teach his people at that time? Are we talking about the prophecy when the Most High, put the Spirit in the 12 tribes to travel to a far country that no man dwelt? Because you twisting the two.
Right. Now, this is what I'm saying.
Did you know, brother, that we ain't supposed to pray or prophesy with our head covered? Did you know that?
You say what? We ain't supposed to pray or prophesy with our head covered?
Right. Did you know that?
I mean, you got long hair, don't you? Christ. I mean, we see in the Bible. We see they had on crowns, didn't they? Sitting before the Lord right before the cherubims, right?
No, we're talking about 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Somebody get that.
Right.
Okay. Because in order to show that you have understanding, then we're looking for laws.
I don't think that's meaning that. I think that means something differently. I think you gotta look at what the custom was. I don't take that as that meaning that.
And that's why the brother was trying to tell you that it takes a spirit to walk in the Lord.
Right. What about Leviticus 19:27?
What does it say? What does it say?
So you know those things.
It says don't round. Okay, so you under the law of Moses, right?
Through Christ. Didn't Christ keep it? He said, did Moses
Christ was under the law,
and none of you keeping it? Why go are you about to kill me?
Right.
So, and he said there's one who accused you, even Moses. So my question is, if you know about it, why aren't you applying?
Well, Christ was under the law, wasn't he?
You know that.
Okay, so if Christ is under the law, are you under the law of Moses right now?
I'm asking the questions. My question is, if you know these things, my brother, why aren't you applying them?
Because I'm not under the law of Moses. I'm under the New Testament.
So what laws did Christ take away? Did he take away all of them, or did he take away certain things?
The moral construct that stays with the law. When you
read Hebrews 9, is very specific.
Exactly.
Christ took away with the sacrificial laws, the laws of ceremonial rites and things like that, like pertaining to atonement and things like that. But everything else, they're still there, because a man still can't commit adultery, can he?
No, that's moral. In other words, the Gentiles which have not the law do the things contained in the law. That's moral. That's universal principle.
So if he took away only the sacrificial laws,
what about the judgments?
What still stands? He took away the death, right?
Right, but hold on. Do you do the judgments though?
What do you mean by
Leviticus?
By
Leviticus 18, it says you should keep my laws, my judgments.
Yes.
Right. So let me ask you a question. If you under the law of Moses, right, and you have this government, because remember what fell up under the law of Moses? 4 things: the book, the temple, the vessels, and the people was sprinkled with blood in, blood out, right? So if you up under that, there's terms, conditions of that contract. Let me ask you this: is judgments a part of that contract?
Of course.
Okay, so
if a man commit fornication or adultery, the judgment is to put him out of the body.
Well, actually, it was back then. It was put him to death.
I get it. Christ took away the death.
Okay, so let me ask you.
So we can't put a man to death. The Father and Christ, who has been given judgment in himself, is going to put a man to death.
Okay, so let me ask you this. On that note, then,
if that's the case, then when it says not one jot or tittle shall fail from the law to all be fulfilled, right? Heaven and earth shall pass. So let me ask you this question. If he took away the jot, right? I mean, if he took away the judgments and the sacrifices, is that your jot and tittle? And if so,
it says to all be fulfilled, because
has it been fulfilled?
What was the purpose of animal sacrifice?
Well, let me ask you a question. Has it been fulfilled?
Answer my question.
The purpose of animal sacrifices was to atone for sin.
Now, who was the atonement from the beginning?
Christ was.
Exactly. So it fulfilled its time until Christ came to be the eternal and last animal sacrifice.
So then we up under the New Testament
then. Under the New Testament, which the Father said, the new agreement said he would put the laws in our mind, not take them away. He said he would put the laws in our mind.
So you shaving your beard or edging your beards, is that
breaking the law?
Is that, hold on, wait. Is that ceremonial or is that moral?
It's not ceremonial. It is a law.
It's got to be ceremonial because listen, let me ask you a question.
Ceremonial was laws pertaining to the tabernacle, the offerings and sacrifices that had to be offered. Shaving your beard pertained to your everyday life.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question.
Stay with me.
Okay.
It did not pertain to shave your beard when you come into the temple. I mean, to leave your beard when you came to the temple. You had to leave your beard whether you was in the temple or at home.
So let me ask you a question.
Does that make sense to you?
It makes no sense for us in the New Testament. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why it's ceremonial. It's not moral. Now, it says the Gentiles which have not the law do the things contained in the law, right? Okay.
What was Paul talking about?
That Paul was talking to non-Israelites.
He was talking about Israelites.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Oh, yeah, I got to go? Yeah, okay, cool.
Who teaches you?
What you mean? What you mean who teaching me?
I'm asking. Who you learning from?
What you mean who I'm learning from? I mean, I go to church, man.
You in the body?
Yeah, I go to church. I ain't been taught like your regular Christians that you see out here that don't know what they talking about. Like when you talk about that law, I know the law.
This is ended. Did the Father give his understanding? Because remember, Christ came and confounded the lawbreakers, right?
Right.
So, do the lawbreakers get the understanding, or do the ones that's obedient get the understanding?
The ones that are obedient get the understanding.
So then, if you don't be obedient to the things that the Father say, then you gotta understand that you won't ever understand.
So if you break one law, what happens then, according to the law of Moses?
Breaking one law, we talking about the ones that we know.
The ones that you know.
But the beard. Okay, listen. Let me ask you a question. Do you need to be circumcised in the New Testament?
No.
Okay, is that a part of the law?
That's what Christ did away with.
Okay, so if it says not one jot or tittle shall pass from the law to all be fulfilled, and it says seeing that the priesthood is changed.
Who said that?
Well, hold on.
Who said that?
Okay, let me finish.
The one jot and tittle. Who said that?
Okay, Christ said that.
He said that, right?
Okay, right.
Who is the author and mediator of the new covenant?
Okay, so that's what I'm asking you. Now listen, he says seeing that the priesthood. He says seeing that there's a necessity to change the priesthood because. Seeing that the priesthood is changed, there's a necessity to change the law, right?
Right.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
What was he talking about?
The law of Moses.
The priesthood concerning tithes, brother.
Wait, hold on for a minute.
Because
that's a part of the law.
The priesthood was responsible for what?
It was responsible for sacrificing. The atonement.
Was he pertaining to the priesthood
the duties of the law of the house and all
the laws? Were the priests only responsible for keeping their beard?
They had to do all the law.
Listen to what I'm saying. What laws pertain to the priesthood?
What you mean what laws? They had to do all the laws, the whole laws.
What was very specific to the
you talking about the order of the service of the house?
Could any man offer sacrifices?
No, they could not.
So that was only pertaining to who?
That was only pertaining to the priest.
So when he mentioned priesthood, was he taking away all the laws or the things that was very specific?
The whole law is binding. It's in the book.
The priesthood being changed.
Doesn't
Did he say
change the
all law? Or the things pertaining to priesthood?
Okay, let me ask you this. Not one jot or tittle shall fail from the law. What law is he talking about?
He said not one jot or tittle shall pass. No, he's still going back into the same.
What law is he talking about though? He said the prophets and the prophets and the law.
He was talking about the commandments, brother, and the laws fall within the commandments, brother. Precepts. The Most High gave us commandments and precepts. Those are the laws. So everything that Christ took away, the brother's telling you right. The animal sacrificing, all right.
the judgment that you're talking about drag him out in the middle of the congregation and everybody's stoned.
And judgment. See, back in old time, your excuses that you're making now, you will be killed for.
No, like for instance, like
you'll be killed for.
No, hold on, but listen.
But right now,
instance, like
Christ gave us mercy that we can learn.
Right. So you up under the New Testament.
8 and 10.
You on the new, like for instance, you say, okay, well he shaved his beard. You guys got on heathen clothes.
The scriptures say not to wear clothes of mixed linen.
Exactly.
Right. No, it says that he's going to judge according to the Old Testament. He's going to judge people that have on heathen clothes.
Listen, Deuteronomy 28. What does Deuteronomy 28 say? That we have to serve our enemies for the one of all things. That's a curse that was going to befall our nation for disobedience. Are we not still living in the curses of captivity to this day?
Oh yeah, there's captivity. Yeah,
so
yeah.
Now,
captivity.
Why find fault in something that you already know is right?
Right.
You're back.
Ain't no fault.
Listen to the word of the Lord from men that's not just teaching them but doing them.
Right.
That's what we're trying to tell you. And listen, we ain't even trying to find fault in you.
So you say you go to church. Is it a Christian church?
Yeah, I go to
on
Christian
Sunday?
church, yeah. Saturday, Sunday, whatever.
Saturday, Sunday,
whatever.
So
it's
you eat swine's flesh?
No, I don't eat swine.
You don't eat swine?
Yeah. But if somebody eat it,
is it a cross in the church?
Nah, we don't. Nah.
No cross?
Nah.
Do women wear pants in the church?
Yeah, they wear pants.
Do women teach over men in the church?
Nah, they teach the kids, though.
So, first of all, Saturday is the day we're supposed to worship. And are you setting a day apart according to Exodus chapter 20? Or are all days the same?
And refraining from buying and selling and cooking and cleaning.
Because that's how we keep the Sabbath day.
Yeah, well, some Saturdays I work.
In Hebrews chapter 4, and even after Christ, Paul went and taught in the synagogue every Sabbath day. So after the Christ, when the new covenant was initiated, after his death, the Sabbath day was still kept.
Well, actually, it was still part of the law that was still going on because the temple had not been destroyed yet. Remember, the temple came under the blood too, remember?
So who is the temple now? Is it a building or is it the people?
Well, it's the people.
So wherever the people are, we under commandment to keep the Sabbath.
Okay, so if you saying that you are, okay, this is my thing, and I'm just going to say that I know y'all brothers got to go. I got to say this, though. Now, if you say, this is like, for instance, if I'm renting a house, right, and you go in and you sign that lease, right, it has terms, conditions, and penalties on it, right?
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
Now, okay, now, if you break one of those terms and conditions or those penalties, what happens? I mean, one of those terms or those conditions, you fall up under the penalty, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now, same thing. If he says that a man that does one sin breaks the whole law, right? He breaks the whole law. Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm telling you. There are certain laws that's in the law of Moses that came over into the New Testament, which is the moral construct. This is why Christ says whatever enters a man's body, he says does not defile him because he's dealing with the heart of the man, first of all. Because see, what we got to realize is when we look at Genesis chapter 9, if you want to talk about meats or whatever those things.
About the blood.
The blood, all of those things.
All right.
What really defiles a man is what comes out of a man. Not what's going in him.
Where does it start?
Right.
That's
the point.
You know where it starts at?
In his mind.
It starts in his heart. In other words,
his heart?
The heart is the mind. The heart is the mind, right? The heart is the spirit
what comes out is the things that if a man is lusting, if a man is thinking about adultery, he gonna commit adultery.
Right. So that's what he's saying that defiles a man. Those type of thoughts. Now, a person that lines his beard up, can he still be a righteous man? Because
he know he's not supposed to.
Well, hold on.
How?
Well, how is that?
What's righteous?
How is that?
What's the Bible's definition?
Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me say this. How is that when God came to the Pharaoh to keep him away from Abraham, right? Abraham's wife. He says, Lord, wilt thou judge a righteous nation? He said, I know that thou is a righteous nation. He said, that's why I came to you, let you know this is another man's wife. Don't touch him. So is there a righteous people other than that we see of Israel? Yes, we see Jethro was one. He came and gave Israel knowledge. But guess what?
Ain't no other righteous nation, brother.
So check this out.
Well, we all right. I mean morally.
In Abraham's time, everybody kept it. Everybody had the law and was responsible for it.
Abraham didn't have the law. He married his sister.
Come on, man. That was allowable according
Deuteronomy
to
5 and 2.
So now, check this out.
Deuteronomy 5 and 2.
How did Noah... So now, when Noah had the ark, right, he separated what? Mm-hmm. The clean beast from the unclean beast, right?
Not for eating purposes. It wasn't
saying.
eating.
How would he know what clean and unclean was without the law?
Because he knew what was suitable for the altar. Not to eat, but what can be sacrificed on the altar.
How did he sacrifice without a law?
What laws are you keeping?
No. The sacrifice was with Abraham and I. I mean, with Adam now. With Adam now.
Truth. What laws are you keeping?
Right. So okay. So let me say.
What
I know.
Laws are you keeping?
I keep the New Testament laws. In other words, I walk by. In other words, we see what.
Just name one.
What did Christ say in chapter 5?
I'm just asking
he
you
said,
to name one.
Okay, we see the more.
Because he said if thou will enter into life, keep the commandments.
Right.
So what commandment?
He says. He said if thou will be perfect. What did he say after that?
So today,
said follow me, right?
Exactly, but how do you have to follow him? According to the scriptures.
Right. So guess how you follow him?
Are you keeping the high holy days?
Right. So hold on.
Are you keeping the high holy days?
Are you not keeping it?
How you figure?
Because I'm gonna tell you why. When you keep the Passover, right? You keep the Passover?
Of course.
Hey, what if I told you that the Bible says you can't keep the Passover, but where the land is at?
Oh, no, man, that's not true, brother.
I'm gonna conversate with y'all brothers in a minute. I gotta go though, man. Appreciate you brothers, man. We'll get at you. I'm friends with one of y'all on Facebook. I think it's you.
Come ready to learn.
Okay, cool.
You're gonna waste your own time.
Right. So we'll conversate on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And because I like to, so you can look at all the stuff like that chart. That ain't right.
What's gonna separate? What tells the difference of who makes it to the kingdom and who doesn't?
Those who are obedient.
To what?
To God's instructions.
What are his instructions?
The law of Christ.
There we go.
Right.
You saying
not the law of Moses, but the law of Christ.
Christ taught not to commit adultery, right?
Oh, that's definitely, that's moral.
Christ
that's morality.
Not to steal, right?
Listen, Pharaoh knew that, because what did Pharaoh say? Pharaoh said, if I would have known this, if it was his wife, I would have never touched him. You know what I'm saying?
Christ said to love your neighbor as yourself, right?
Right.
So then if you love your neighbor as yourself, are you going to cause your neighbor to sin?
We ain't gonna do that.
He said, on these two hang all what?
All the law.
So, some of the laws, or all the laws that he left in place?
All the moral construct. In other words, if you're saying is that, then what about the judgment? Then we ain't doing the judgment.
Men can wear dresses.
No, you can't do none of that.
What type of
in other words, it said the Gentiles by nature.
You don't even understand.
Okay. Well, in Romans chapter 1, right?
You know why you misunderstand?
Because you think I don't know what the Gentiles is.
Let the nations. Who did God give the Bible to? All races or one nation?
He gave it to one nation.
And who is that?
That was Israel.
So if he gave the Bible to one nation of people, what is the one and only nation of people that should have the Bible and should be teaching it?
It was Israel.
Only, and they the only ones should be teaching it, right?
Not at this point, nah.
What about Romans 9 that says, Paul said, his brother and his kinsmen according to the flesh, who are the Israelites, who contain the glory of God and the service.
Give it to me like that,
and the giving of the law. So God says he gave Israel the law and then the service.
Right.
So he's telling who can serve him and who he gave the law to. After Christ died, he said the same thing.
Can a Gentile get the Spirit of God though?
Israel that don't understand that Israel, who are the true Gentiles, of course.
Well, hold on. Can a non-Israelite get the Spirit of God?
Do you know what forever means?
Right.
No. Woo! So check this out. So what does forever mean?
The Gentiles we speaking on.
Right. What do you mean what's forever?
What does forever means forever, right?
Yeah, forever means forever.
So if God says he changes not, and in Malachi 1, because you're only talking about one nation.
God changed plenty of times in the Bible.
Are you asking about the Chinese or the Japanese?
Nah.
You asking about the Europeans?
Yeah, I'm asking about all of them.
He said yeah.
I'm asking about all of them.
The Europeans that God said.
No, I said nations.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Right.
The Europeans is the only person because you ain't concerned about the damn Japanese.
I'm
concerned about the.
Okay, what about African? I'm an African though.
You might be.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I pray that you're not, and you should hope that you're not, because the Africans going into captivity. But what I'm saying is, the Bible says in Malachi chapter 1 and 4, it says the people in whom, it says the Europeans are the people in whom God had indignation forever. If forever means forever, and he says he hates the Europeans forever, how can they ever inherit the kingdom?
Where did he say that though?
Malachi 1 and 4.
Yeah.
That what you talking about when you say he hate Esau?
Yeah.
Oh, you say Esau is the white man. You say Esau is the white man.
Esau is Japheth, right?
He just knew that.
Esau is Japheth.
The white man is the Gentiles. He just knew that. That's Japheth now.
So now,
he knew that.
So check this out.
Don't say that.
It does say that.
So let me say something. If Esau is not the white man, then we have not seen the last of our destruction.
Esau was the white person.
If he ain't the white man, then we still got hell to pay. Right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying nothing what you saying.
It will have, according to the Bible, because who names themselves after the eagle?
Everybody.
Answer the question.
The Romans,
no, the Egyptians had an eagle and the Arabs had an eagle symbol. We're going to do the homework on it. What's your name on Facebook?
Done it, brother.
What's your name on Facebook?
And swift
You in here
as the
somewhere.
eagle flying. Who used the eagle as a signet over their country?
White folks.
My man know that. Then you say,
Have they always used it?
Yeah. Who is this right here?
Even the Romans.
Yeah. Is that you?
That is.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that ain't me. That's
which brother? Oh, okay, yeah.
That's him. So
who's that?
At the end of the day, brother.
Oh, okay. This you right here? This your page right here?
The reason
your Facebook
we
page?
got misunderstanding is because we let the other.
Oh, so we friends on Facebook? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we ain't African.
So
the commandments, brother.
Yeah. So I get at you on Facebook then, because I know it's
the law, statutes, and commandments through faith is right.
Hey, so who was Antiochus?
Huh?
Antiochus.
Right? He was a white man. Yeah, he was from
the Bible
Rome.
called him a Greek.
I mean, he was a Greek, right? Yeah.
So who are the Greeks today?
The Greeks are Javin.
Huh?
Javin is the Greeks.
You just said that the Bible called him.
You playing games.
Javin comes from the Gentiles.
Yeah. So now.
Javin is the son of Japheth. He's the descendant of Japheth.
You just agreed with him and then flipped it.
No, I didn't agree.
So now, Antiochus was a Greek, right? Was not the Roman related to Antiochus?
Was he related to him? No, he wasn't related to him.
Did they not come from the same father?
No, they didn't come from the same father. And Herod's father was an Arab, and his mother was an Arab. You can look it up.
No.
On everything. No. That's historical. No. He was an Arab. I promise y'all.
Then how could the prophecy that's written in the Bible
the Romans. Hold on. The Romans came down.
The Romans ruled in Jerusalem.
But that's what I'm saying. The Romans came down, and guess what they did? They put the Arabs, which is the Idumeans, which is Edomites. They put them over Israel. It's Edom. It's Edom. Right. So guess who called them the Idumeans?
No.
That's what.
Or Edom, right?
Where's Edom at?
Check this out.
Arabia.
Listen to me.
Jordania.
The Idumeans are Edom, right?
Yeah.
So who calls themselves Edom today?
No, the Romans came down and
I
got
a question. Did somebody send you down here?
Right. I sent you down. I sent you down. Yeah, nobody sent me down. Who you think sent me down here?
I just asked. Okay.
Nah, I listen.
Y'all. We gotta go to brothers over. Wait a minute. That brother's over there. How you say here?
Oh, he might be at the school.
You gave him the address?
He got the flyer.
Oh, we gotta go. Yeah.
All right, peace to you, brother.
He at the U.S. Bank. So, when you truly, brother, decide to keep the commandments that Christ gave, you're gonna learn and understand a lot of things. And when you stop letting the nations teach you, then you'll understand. When you stop letting the Europeans teach you, because you ain't worried about nobody else. You ain't considering the Chinese or the Japanese or the Arabs, because the Arabs got what religion?
I'm a priest.
So the Arabs got what religion?
I'm a priest.
What is the Arabs' religion?
Islam.
So you got white people that's following Islam. The whites created.
So Israel is a holy nation, holy priesthood, right?
Of course.
Okay, so who are they the priests of?
What's a priest? Get Malachi 2 and 7.
In other words, a priest stands as a mediator between God and man. He stands to do the service of God.
We'll see.
All right, go ahead.
And you still ain't told us who you learned it from. You still ain't said it.
What's the name of the church?
You asked us.
You asked us.
Huh?
And he told you. He went into young blood went into the scriptures and
you know why I ain't telling y'all? I ain't telling y'all live because.
I heard you say GMS earlier.
That's why I'm not telling y'all live, because if I tell you live, then what happens is GMS and them other like ISUPK, they come to my church, they talk crazy, and they be doing all of this. So we don't put like a lot of that personal information. They put my kids on Facebook and all of that. I mean on YouTube and all of that, so they play it dirty.
We won't do that.
So this is Malachi 2 and 7. It says, the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord. When is he the messenger of the Lord?
So the priest is the messenger of the Lord, right?
When?
What you mean when?
You ain't hear the scripture.
It says the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord. When and what makes him the messenger of the Lord?
He's doing the law, right? Okay, fine.
But you saying we ain't got to do the law.
No, I'm talking about, listen, I'm talking about there's there's two
Who
covenants.
told you there was
there's
two
covenants.
What's the second
The scripture
covenant?
says that.
Who's the second covenant?
It says in Hebrews, you went to it.
Who's the second
It
covenant
says there was a necessity to bring forth the
Who is the new covenant with?
It's with Israel.
Did it mention anybody else?
Yeah, they can join to the covenant.
It said that.
Other nations can join.
It
Yes,
said that
yes.
in Hebrews.
Yes, they can join to the covenant.
It said that in Hebrews 9.
Yes, they can join to the covenant.
It says, this is the covenant
Even in
that
the
I will
first-
make with the house of Israel after those days.
Exactly.
I will put my laws in their mind. What you saying is not there.
Okay, wait, hold
When
on.
you read Daniel 2:44, it tells you
Wait, hold on, let me
that
ask
the
you a question.
kingdom cannot be left to another people.
Well, hold on. No. I'm saying. No. Listen, could strangers join to the first covenant?
Who were the strangers?
See, you keep saying it's Israel, but it wasn't.
Let's deal with the second covenant.
All right, but y'all gotta go, man. We're gonna get together.
The first covenant is void and noise.
We're gonna get together.
The second covenant was created with Israel. And whose names are how many gates are there on the kingdom?
We're gonna get together, man.
How many gates?
That's 12.
And whose names are on the 12 gates?
It's Israel, but who can enter into those gates?
On that gate, you think you go get
Yeah, they can enter into that gate. It says
outside
Isaiah 50.
outside
Isaiah 56 says they can enter into that gate. You didn't read Isaiah 56?
So you
also Zechariah 14. It says though.
Okay. So check this out. This is funny. You deal with the Old Testament when you want to.
I ain't got to touch the New Testament. I can just deal with the Old.
So then, what the Old Testament deal with?
In other words,
who did God talk to in the Old Testament?
Okay, Isaiah 56.
Who did God talk to in the Old Testament?
He talked to Israel, right?
And who else?
And
Israel
and the other nations.
Breaking our promise, brother.
Yeah. Okay, peace to you, brothers, man. I got you on Facebook. We'll get on Facebook. Nice talking to y'all, man. Peace. Hey, so as y'all can see, we in the hood, man. These brothers in the hood down here, man. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? They in this hood, man. They down here in North St. Louis, the grimy area. So they be in the hood. And you know, we down here and we on Natural Bridge and Kings Highway. But as y'all can see, them brothers really is teaching One West doctrine too, just as well. But they say that they're not One West. They didn't even know what One West was. So that's kind of crazy. But let me turn this camera around so I can look at y'all. All right, so let me turn this camera around. All right, so listen, they didn't even know what's going on, Andrew. They didn't even know, you know what I'm saying, what One West was. So that's kind of crazy. Y'all see what I got on? Look, I had this vest on, y'all. Look at me. I had this thing on. Was it showing pretty good? It looked like it was showing pretty good. I bought this for like, what, $20? And so now, you know, I could just wear this right here and get it in, you feel me? But yeah, so, you know, they didn't even know basically what One West was, but they teaching One West doctrine. So as y'all can see, you know what I'm saying, they in the hood. Here somebody finna come over right now. What's going on, bro?
I got a question, man. And what type of shoes you got? What's them called?
Oh, those are pennies. These are pennies right here. Penny Hardaways.
Yep, okay.
Penny Hardaways, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That cost a lot.
I ain't gonna lie, man. They cost like about $400.
You lying.
Yeah, but you know why though? Cause I got them late.
Okay.
If I would have got them on time, they would have been like about $160, $190. I just got these probably like a month ago, and I had to order them, and you know they was already sold out.
Oh, okay.
All right, man. Take it easy, bro. But yeah, so hey, so look, even the youngster right there, you know what I'm saying? They try to get on me because my beard is lined up or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They was trying to get on me or whatever, but they out here in the hood, y'all. They not like IUIC, they not downtown or none of those things. Like, they straight in the hood. It's gutter out here, you know what I'm saying? You know, they ain't like ISUPK, downtown. They believe that they got a message for black people, and they in black areas, you know what I'm saying? Straight in the hood. This Natural Bridge and Kings Highway, you feel me? And so if anybody know about Natural Bridge and Kings Highway, they got cameras all up and down these streets just on the just because of what goes on in these areas, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, IUIC, same thing. IUIC in the hood, man. Every time I see IUIC, they in the hood, yo, like for reals. And so, you know, once I get back out here, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the projects. I'm going to the west side, north side, Walnut Park. That's where I be at. You know what I'm saying? That's where I be at. But yeah, I got this thing, man. I like the little thing I had, man. I bought it for like $20, and it's cool, yo. You know what I'm saying? But wait till I got some other stuff for y'all too. Wait till I get this other footage I got. Well, actually I got this other equipment this tough, yo. What's going on, Ecclesiastics? Yeah, Penny Hardaway, he definitely still got shoes, man. But yeah, I got I bought this little the little light, and also the mics where you guys can hear me clearly. I'm waiting on it in the mail now. That way I'm gonna have the whole package deal, yo. I'm gonna have this right here. Then I'm gonna have the mic and all of that. What's going on, brother Greenlight? Man, just out here, man, chilling, man, late night, man, building with these guys down here on the North St. Louis, man, you know what I'm saying? And so I went out, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start getting it in with these brothers. I'm friends with them on Facebook. I knew where they was at, so you know, I'm like Jesus, man. I run up in the I straight run up in the temple, or I run up in the synagogue, yo. And once I go in the synagogue, I'm getting it in, you know what I'm saying? But those brothers, you can kind of tell they have no knowledge of the scriptures. They have no knowledge of the scriptures at all. And we got some footage on it. We got the footage on it. Hopefully you guys can hear me. You guys heard me good, but we got the footage on it. You know, we straight, you know what I'm saying? This Natural Bridge and Kings Highway, yo. Like, anybody know anything about Natural Bridge and Kings Highway, like it goes down over here. So we out there, they out there, you know. But I'm gonna cut them brothers to pieces the next time too, just as well. Well, I ain't gonna go out there, and that'll be my last time probably hollering at them, to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I really ain't got too much to really say to them brothers, actually. I just like to get the footage. So once I get the footage, we could tell that these brothers being mistaught. And as y'all seen, they definitely been mistaught. Well, they been mistaught. Let me cut these lights off. Do I got a door open or something? Is my trunk open or something? Hold on, y'all. I must got a door open or something. I don't know why these lights on or something. Oh, there it is right there. Yep, but man, you know, I'm heading to the crib, man. Go home, chill with the family, you know what I'm saying? They got a expo tomorrow, Black Expo in St. Louis. And so ISUPK, they was down there today. Then also you had some other camps that was down there. It might have been those guys right there. I ain't sure, but I know a brother called me and he was like, man, these camps down here harassing a lot of the Christian people down there. You know, but yeah, man, so, you know, see something. Yeah, so, yeah, they unlearned, man. They unlearned. So they don't really know what's going on. They didn't even know what One West was. They still got the chart. I bet you they don't even know where that chart came from. I guarantee you they don't know where that chart came from. And so they don't even know the history of it. You know what I'm saying? This brother still talking about Maccabee. I mean, what did he say? He said Esdras 13 and 40 that Arsarat is America. This brother said Antiochus is Antioch, and I'm like, bro, you got the whole little situation that's messed up, yo. Like you tripping, man. Like you all out of time. Your chronology is off. Like, but you know, if Peter said he suffered as a Christian, why can't you call yourself a Christian? You know what I'm saying? Anybody can. I mean, we see that they, you know, they can be an Israelite like they say they want to be, but are you a Christian? Because we had people that said that I know that Jesus said, I know that you are Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me. You are of your father, the devil. Appreciate it, Josh. But yeah, man, so we had Israelites. What's up, Miss Holly? We had Israelites in the Bible that was saying that they was Israel, but trying to kill Jesus. So that don't make a difference. So, you know, you saying you an Israelite don't mean you a Christian. You know what I'm saying? Are you a follower of Christ? These brothers out here still teaching that they up under the law of Moses. You know what I'm saying? That's what they still teaching. And really I wanted to hit them because I'm like, how you gonna be telling me about your beard this and that when you wearing heathen clothing, and then but you want to know about them Penny Hardaways though. You know what I'm saying? And so if you gonna say you keeping the law, you keep it to its entirety. And so when you don't do that, and then you go to a brother and you say, well, you ain't keeping the law, well, is you keeping the law of Moses? Because I'm not keeping it because I'm not under the law of Moses. I'm not under that contract. And so all of those things that we see, a bird, what does a bird, you shaving your beard, have to do with your heart and your spirit? Nothing at all. So it has to be ceremonial, if anything, you know what I'm saying? Because they're a holy priesthood and a holy nation, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he didn't want them putting the lining around in their beards, to you know, we need to even look at what is the cultural context of that. We don't know what the cultural context of that is, because I know when you say rounding somebody's head, you basically talking about giving somebody what the Egyptians used to do when they used to give people what they call a Heru lock, and just leave the hair in the middle and bald the hair all around. So there's a cultural context to this stuff, and so we got to look into that stuff and say, what is this talking about? You know what I'm saying? And because we don't know the cultural context, even us as Christians, we westernize stuff, and we don't look at the cultural context of what it could have been talking about. And so this brother sitting up there trying to judge me, talking about he keep the Passover. Where the Bible say you can keep the Passover out the land? Show me that. You know what I'm saying? What, you ain't the Passover that Moses or that the law established? You couldn't be keeping that. So these brothers don't even know the law. They don't know what's going on out here. You know what I'm saying? And so when you get to talking about different things in the law, for instance, when it says the not one jot or tittle shall fail from the law, you know, talking about the prophets and also the law itself. But then it says, seeing that the priesthood is changed, there is a necessity to change the law. Then hold on for a minute. That's your jot and your tittle right there. That means we under the New Testament. And so if you up under the New Testament, then it's clear that there's different instructions, and those instructions is not like the first. Now, is the moral construct there? Yes. Because Romans chapter 1, what does it say? It says that man, it says that by nature men do. I mean, the men was doing things that was against nature. But it says that they also do the things that they know to do by nature. Because why? Because they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So if you eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, then you know what's good and evil. Then you know what it is. It's just, is you gonna do it? And that's every man. Every man have in them the conscience, which is this joint knowledge that shows them if they doing wickedness or if they walking upright. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel some type of guilt behind when they do wickedness. So even if they acting against certain things, this natural things, like for instance, if you doing homosexuality, that you acting against nature. In other words, that's not natural. Homosexuality is not natural. So clearly, that's a universal principle. That is what we call objective morality. In other words, that is something to where every individual can say that this is wrong, that it's against nature. There's nothing productive with you sticking your penis in another man's anus, and then also with another woman bumping up against another woman. You can't even bring forth no fruit behind that. So that is unnatural. Even when you look at animals, you know what I'm saying? If an animal does some stuff like that, it's just unnatural. It's not productive. Ain't nothing coming forth out of that. So that's against nature. And it's against God, because God set it up to where he shows you that the things that we see explain his Godhead. In other words, it says the things that are unseen, the things that are seen explain the things that are unseen. The creation and also his Godhead, the Godhead. And so we can't say that there is no God. You know, we can't say that we didn't know right from wrong. No, you a lie. You knew right from wrong because he said it. Man has become one of us to know good and evil. They have the knowledge of good and evil. So you can't say that you don't know. You definitely lying. You knew. You felt the guilt behind it when you did it. Now, if you corrupt your conscience, then that's where the problem come in at. Because now you need law. You need written law. And what is written law? Written law shows you that you doing something that ain't right. Like for instance, I'm going down this highway, the speed limit 55. It's posted. That's written law right there. If I do something contrary to that, then I'm going to get a ticket. I'm in the penalty. I violated the law because that speed limit is posted and it's written against me. But at the same time, it is written in the sense to where it shows me that I am in wrong. I'm violating something. When I'm doing over, or even when I'm doing the minimum, under the minimum, I'm violating the law. And so therefore, I can't reason in my mind and say that I didn't know. I did know because it's written right there. So therefore, sin is imputed because it's written. It's written. It's there. That's why he told them in the Old Testament, he said, put this book of the law in the side of the ark to be a witness against thee. It was a witness against them. You know what I'm saying? So the killer had to be killed. What was killing them that they couldn't keep had to be killed. Why? Because they couldn't do it and it was killing them. And plus God knew that he was going to destroy the tabernacle. He was going to destroy a lot of those things that we see, right? Because they broke the law. So if they broke the law, they can't say, well, we just going to go and make a payment and it'll be all right. Nah, it ain't going to be all right, yo. It's not going to be all right at all. Because you already in the default. So then, when we look at the northern tribe, if he put them away, and then he put Israel out the land, or he gave them a bill of divorcement, the only way he can marry them back is up under the New Testament and not the Old Covenant. Why? Because they broke that law. And what does the law say? If a woman commits whoredom, and she leaves her husband and go sleep with somebody else, then he can't take her back. So legally, up under the law, God could never took them back, except, guess what? The New Testament. That's it. Because that's what the law says. You can't take a woman back if she's committed adultery, right? You can't take her back. He gave Israel a bill of divorcement, the northern tribe. Guess what he was going to do? Bring them together, take all of them back, because they all was lost in doctrine. And therefore they can be married unto Christ in the New Testament. And therefore they not bound or obligated to the strict letter of the law. Because if you say you doing the law, you got to do it to its entirety. And we didn't even get to hit that Galatians, Had we would have hit that Galatians, it would have been over. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my son and stuff calling me, y'all. But definitely, man, appreciate y'all tuning in. I might end up doing something later on tonight. It depends on if everybody sleep. You know what I'm saying? If my wife, you know, she let me sneak down in the basement and probably get something in, then it might go down. But I need to holler at GMS about something. I need to holler at Tahar about something. These brothers don't know how to break down these scriptures right. I think ITR was out tonight too. Israel Tried and Refined. I think they was out tonight. I ain't sure. I know GMS was out there, but we gonna see if ITR was out there. I'm gonna check their page out. But yeah, grace and peace to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm off tomorrow, so get into church tomorrow. I couldn't tell them brothers what church I went to because they probably would have been, brothers would have heard me on her, would have got to doing all types of wicked stuff, you know what I'm saying? But they got a black expo tomorrow, and so ISUPK was there today, you know, St. Louis, ISUPK. IUIC is the biggest camp that we have in St. Louis. They huge, yo. They was out today in the hood and everything, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't tell them everything because they'd be all in my spot. They'd be doing all types of stuff. So, with that being said, I'm going to get at y'all a little later. Grace and peace to y'all. Love the family. You know what I'm saying? Keep me in your prayers. I'm just getting little footage and stuff like that. So, this type of stuff people can put in documentaries or, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, and possibly, you know, they want to write a book about it, they can do all that type of stuff and, you know, out there. So you can see what these men are teaching, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, love y'all. You know, I'll holler at y'all in a little bit.